Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's South Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's doing well. It is match day today. We are ready for the game. Of course, Manchester United have made their way down to London. They used the train, of course, as they usually do, going down to London. And look, it's a massive day. It's a massive game, of course. We just need to move up that table. Doesn't look like we're going to get anywhere near the top four. But we do need to stay clear of the bottom half of the table, of course, guys, because whilst we are the bottom half of the table, there's always going to be that element of negativity, isn't there? You know, and there's going to be people, you know, overreacting, talking about relegation when, you know what, it's not going to happen, to be honest with you. And I say that's just an overreaction. And if you've been supporting Man United a very long time, you know that's not going to happen. You know, Ipswich Town, the bottom three are far worse than us. And they're going to lose more games, as Ipswich Town did yesterday, of course, guys. But you know what? We have to look after ourselves. It's Manchester United against Fulham. It's a tough game going down to Craven Cottage. We've had some good games there. We've had some bad games there. They're going to be up for it. But Man United need to be up for it as well, you know. And I feel like these type of games were kind of thriving, you know, like the Liverpool, the Man City, and the Arsenal game. We thrived in somewhat. And I think this is important that Man United thrive today away from home. You know, we seem to play better. I don't know why. I don't know what. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe Old Trafford brings its own element of pressure, of anxiety, as you know. And you know, it's good to be away. It's good to be away too. You know what I mean? And we can play. We can put the pressure off a little bit and put the pressure on Fulham today, guys. Of course, but it is a tight knit little ground, and it is a ground that you know what can be difficult at times to play in. Of course, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please don't forget to smash the like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Let's get into some of your comments real quickly, guys. So big up, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Big up, Pearl. How you doing? Good morning. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Darkro, big up the legend, Darkro. Big up yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today. And big up, Mandem. What's going on again, Mandem? I hope you're doing well. Good morning. I hope you're well. Good to see you. And now, look, you know what? A lot of noises has been going around Man United. And not least last night, I heard a story about Manchester United looking to loan Ansu Fati. Now, Ansu Fati, you know what, burst into the scene at Barcelona a few years ago. I think he was like the Lamine Yamal at the time. And everyone was raving about Ansu Fati, how great Ansu Fati is, what a great player he is. He's gone on loan a couple of times, not least he's gone on loan to Brighton and Hove Albion before, but Manchester United are looking to do a loan deal with Barcelona for Ansu Fati. Well, they have inquired about a loan deal for Ansu Fati. Now, look, you know what? I like the player. I mean, as a squad player, it would be great. It would fit Ruben Amorim's system somewhat, you know. It hasn't worked out for him at Barcelona for whatever reason. They did try to sell him. Of course, the last couple of years, they've been trying to sell Ansu Fati. But I believe he has signed a new contract at Barcelona, but he might be put on loan. So Manchester United are looking at a loan option for Ansu Fati, which, you know what, better than nothing, would you say? Is it better than nothing? But you know what, it is a high chance that it's going to happen, of course. It is rumours, of course, what's happened. Left winger, left-footed, can play left-sided, of course, which can mean that he can play on that left-sided wing-back position of Ruben Amorim's system, of course, guys. So that is very important, of course. It does only cost about 10 million euros, you know. It looks like he's going to sign. He has extended his contract to 2027. His highest market value, he used to be worth 80 million euros, guys. Now he's worth about 10. I mean, that is the decline. You see what I mean about players? You know, he is an attacking midfielder, a centre forward, a left winger, very versatile, right-footed, inadverted, of course. But that's what I'm talking about. You know what? Players develop differently. You know, some players can burst into the scene and some players can, you know what, decline when they reach 25, when they reach 26. And that's the whole thing with it. Some players don't burst onto the scene. Some players at 16 are not quite that level and are doubted, but develop later on, a bit like Beckham did, of course, guys. Absolutely. But that is very interesting news coming out, of course, guys. Big up, Fan. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. So that is interesting. A loan deal. Man United will be looking at loan deals at the end of the day, guys. And I think Man United is the way forward at the moment. And in regards to transfers, I believe Manchester United's transfer activity would be more prominent in the summer. And I know this is Glazonomics. I know we've been doing this for many years. We wait until the summer and then we sign players, you know, and you know what? We ignore the January transfer window. By ignoring the January transfer window, what we're doing is basically surrendering this season. And, when we get to the summer and we haven't qualified for the Champions League, if we don't win the Europa League, you know what, they're going to blame, we haven't qualified for the Champions League, so we're finding it very difficult to sign players. This is the sort of, glazonomics that we do. Year in, year out, we can read it now. We've seen this film before. We read it like a book, don't we? And that is exactly what it is. But Man United are interested in a number of players, according to Fabrizio Romano, Einstein, and myself, of course, guys, at the end of the day. Not bigging up myself. But we are interested in Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz, of course, is a fantastic player, German international, of course, who plays, of course, for Bayer Leverkusen as an attacking player, a midfielder, 21 years old. But his market value is about 140 million. Now, rumor is that Manchester United are looking to sign the next big thing. And to be honest with you, Florian Wirtz has been around for quite a while now. We know all about Florian Wirtz. But Man United are exploring avenues on which to get a deal for Florian Wirtz without having to pay that astronomical amount of money, which is around market value 140 million euros. That is how much Florian Wirtz is worth. Is he worth it, should I say? Is it really worth it? At the end of the day, he plays in Germany. I would be astonished if Man United paid this back money. They're not going to pay it. Man United are not doing that anymore. So what Man United will be looking to do, they'll be looking to get players in and play, and according to like FFP rules, etc., pay yearly. So they'll bring in a player like Florian Wirtz, but they will pay a fee and then pay yearly. And that could obviously override FFP. So that's the kind of deal that Man United might be looking to do, of course. Florian Wirtz, 29 caps already for Germany, 6 goals for Germany already. He's a great player. I know this one is out there. I know Florian Wirtz is going to be wanted by a number of clubs. Real Madrid are interested in Florian Wirtz. PSG are interested in Florian Wirtz. But this is highlighted Man United now in regards to names coming out there. Now, look, I'm always going to take things with a pinch of salt. You know what? Because at the end of the day, I want to see what's happening in this window. I do want to see what's happening in this window because at the end of the day, this is right now is what's most important for Manchester United. What happens right now? Who are we going to bring in right now? I don't want to care about players out. I want to know who we're bringing in. You know what I mean? This is the thing, because at the moment, Man United need players. We need a squad, and we obviously need a depth in our squad. Our squad is obviously a little bit weak at the moment. Next season will be Ruben Amorim's first full season, and the bad apples will drop from the tree, and hopefully those bad apples will be replaced, and we will have more of a Ruben Amorim type of team. Hopefully, we'll have players that fit the Ruben Amorim style. You know what I mean? Hopefully we will, hopefully Ruben Amorim won't be thrown into the Sharks next season, because at the end of the day, it's going to be incredibly difficult for Man United to qualify for the Champions League. We have one avenue, which is the Europa League, and Man United are going to put all their eggs in that basket. Of course, it's going to be difficult to win the Europa League. We saw that with Glasgow Rangers. We struggled to beat Glasgow Rangers. You know what I mean? So, it's going to be difficult to win the Europa League. I always believe we can win. I always believe, and that I will always be like that. I will never be pessimistic. I won't, I'm not overly zealous, but I'm never negative. I'm never so negative that it just brings it down. It just doesn't help, to be honest with you. I know in my mind where we are as a football team. We're certainly not good enough as a team to where we want to be. But one thing I know about football, and over the years I've seen in football, is that anything can happen. And if we can squeeze or by hook or by crook, basically win something like the Europa League this season, qualify for the Champions League, you know what? You never know what can happen after that. It's the small sparks that happen that can create, a dynasty, isn't it? And that happened under Alex Ferguson with Mark Robbins and players and situations such as that. Those small sparks that can ignite something, and we need that spark. We've been waiting for that spark. Hopefully we get a little spark today. Hopefully Man United do something unexpected. Lots of people are thinking that, are betting that we're going to lose to Fulham. They're predicting that we're going to lose to Fulham. Football doesn't work like that. Football is completely different. Just because you do badly against this team, that team, doesn't mean you're going to do badly against that team. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way it is at the end of the day. In theory, we beat Arsenal with 10 men with a referee against us. And, in theory, we should go out and smash every team we play then, isn't it? It just doesn't work like that. Football's different. Every game is different, of course, guys. Absolutely. Let's read some of your comments, guys. Let's read it. Absolutely. Dark Row. Sal, is it time we play for a point until the 70th minute with more defensive players in the midfield and not concede goals and then bring on attacking players? It's a good point, Darko. It's a good point. You know what we got to do is get our bread and butter sorted out pretty quickly, because you know what, we're conceding goals too early. Way too early. And when we concede early, you have this uphill challenge. I don't think it's happening as much away from home. It's more happening at home. This is the problem. It's happening at home at the moment, where we're conceding goals early, and then you've got an uphill challenge. And Man United are not scoring a lot of goals, So it is a good point, Darko. Keep it tight. I would say about 60 minutes myself, and then suddenly unleash the play, unleash it, unleash the team. Observe the game. It's a good point. You know what I mean? I think we've done that in the past. I think you look at it, it's more like a counter-attacking sort of style. You'd be more reserved and stuff like that. I believe in Ruben Amorim. Hopefully Ruben Amorim does the right thing, of course, guys, and that is why I help. Big up, Fan. Thank you so much for the support, brother. Hope you're doing nothing, Navy. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you very much, my man. Thank you. The media can boast about player, and when they are not living up to the standard, only bring them down. This is what they do. This is media. I've witnessed big players at Man United. David Beckham, for example. They build him up, and then when he does something bad, the world is against him. I was around in a time when they put up, mannequins of David Beckham in the hung, and things like that after the 1998 World Cup. I was at the stadiums when people were singing a very, very bad thing about his family and stuff like that. At the end of the day, that's what media do, and that is part of football. I would say that that's part of football. Football is you have to take it. You have to take the rough with the smooth. In football, that's life. You get paid the big bucks at the end of the day to receive this thing. Look, I worked in a hospital for 5 years. The amount of abuse I got in a hospital, if I was getting, 300 grand a week, you can call me what you like. It doesn't really matter. I'm getting 300 grand a week. It doesn't really matter. I had far worse. Than them. You just have to take it. And, and that is life at the end of the day. And as a footballer, if you're earning that much money, you're going to have to, if you want to be on social media as a footballer, you're going to have to take the responsibility. You know what? Football is cultish. It's cults in football. And you're going to get a lot of people who don't like you. And that is just the nature of the beast, of course, guys. And the media will be the media. The media, you know what? They do like to do their little spin on things and stuff like that to sell newspapers and everything like that. I know that. I've been around. I know that. But obviously newspapers don't exist anymore. Unfortunately, I used to like reading newspapers, to be honest with you, rather than the social media malarkey that goes on nowadays. You've got it everywhere, of course, guys. That is obviously a problem. But big up, man, them. Dennis Irwin was asked why Sir Alex Ferguson wasn't successful in media. His answer was players. It took a few transfer windows to get the right players. He said, we win in the even now. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fan. People think this is an easy fix. Man United are in disarray. Man United are owned by the Glazers. Do you know what I mean? And you know what? The amount of rubbish that has gone against us this last 12 years is, astronomical compared to even Sir Alex Ferguson days. We are absolutely in a dire strait at the moment. And you know what? We're searching for government finances and things like that. There's sort of like, I wouldn't say a curse, of course. I believe in them, but you know what? I believe Man United should, seek some other kind of intervention, of course. But you know what? People totally try to ignore that. But you know what? One thing I would say seriously is that Man United, will take time. It will take time. I firmly believe that it will be earlier. I think Ruben Amorim is a fantastic manager. I like the way he manages. I trust him, and I think that he will do well at this football club. I really do. And you know what? One thing I don't want to see Amorim out. I don't want to see Amorim get it out of my club sort of thing. You know what they did with Ten Hag? Get out of my club sort of thing, and the insults start flying in and stuff. I don't want that anymore. I'm tired of that. It's pretty obvious that the manager is not the problem. It's pretty obvious, there is a cultural fundamental problem at Man United that runs deeper than deep, and to be honest with you, it doesn't even just stem to the players. It stems even higher than that, and when you're run by an ownership that hover around the football club like a dark cloud, you're going to get the same sort of feeling on the football pitch as well. It resonates all the way down, and this is the problem, Dennis Irwin's spot on. Man United, when I started supporting Man United in about 1989-90, I started watching football about 86, and then I started warming towards Man United around 89-90. Went to my first game in 1990, Crystal Palace in the FA Cup final, and you know what? You could feel in that final that Man United were nervous, Man United were tense, and it's a sort of similar feeling that we have now. Where you can't buy a win. You know what? When Palace scored back then, Ian Wright was playing for them, and when Palace scored for them, you felt like there was the doom and gloom. The cloud is coming. We haven't won a title in such and such decades. And it was like that. It was a feeling like that, but it just takes that little spark, and we had that spark. And we won that FA Cup after the second leg, and then what? It's a spark that ignites. Trophies ignite. If we win the Europa League this season, I firmly believe that we can do something special this season. I really do believe that. And I think Man United will move forward. I think we can with Ruben Amorim at the helm. Yes, players will drop, players will leave, and that is just the way of nature is, and I just trust Ruben Amorim. But looking at Ruben Amorim and looking at his reaction, his body language, he's not happy. You can tell he's not happy. He's not happy with everything. That's what's going on at the moment. Upstairs, downstairs, on the pitch, wherever you want to say, he's not happy at the moment. Big Al Mac, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. We aren't getting Florian Wirtz. I suggested him 2 years ago instead of Mason Mount, but the ship's out. We can't afford Florian Wirtz. The only way we can afford Florian Wirtz, Al Mac, is if we do an installment plan for and that will override FFP. If we pay like 40 million straight up fee, and then you pay 40 million over a number of years, and then they pay a little bit of interest on top of that. That could happen. This is what I'm hearing Man United are looking to do, which Todd Bowley is doing at Chelsea, which is paying installment plans, and getting players on long-term contracts, basically, which Chelsea are doing. Now, look, you know what? It is a rumor. I don't agree with it, but you know what? At the end of the day, we have to look at it and think, okay, he'd be a fantastic player at Man United. It's a type of player we need at Man United. Almac, you know what? A lot of people were singing about Florian Wirtz a long time ago. We all were, to be honest with you. We know Florian Wirtz is a great player. Mason Mount was never going to work at Man United. I knew that 1 year to go, 55 million. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we could have got Florian Wirtz through the door for 60 back then, couldn't we? And at the end of why did we do that deal? Why did we do the deal with Mason Mount? I don't know. I never rated Mason Mount. Sorry, but I didn't. He had one good season at Chelsea, player of the year at Chelsea, and then, you know what? Faded away, to be honest with you. I didn't agree with that signing, and I felt that there was other motives in regards to that signing. Now, getting rid of Mason Mount, how are we going to get rid of Mason Mount? It's going to be very difficult to get rid of him when he's not playing football. The problem is that a lot of our players are not playing football. And then when rival clubs and other clubs around Europe look at our players, they think, well, he's injured. How are we going to get him in? He's injured. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But look, Anthony has gone on loan to Real Betis. In regards to now, Anthony's gone on loan to Real Betis, and he needs to be replaced. Because at the end of the day, you know what? We are very short in the attacking area now. We've got Ahmad, we've got Garnacho, we've got Bruno. 3 players, right? And if one of those players gets injured, what are we going to do? Eriksen, we're going to rely on Eriksen, okay, at the end of the day. And especially if we play 2 number 10s, it's obviously an issue going forward. Man United need to replace these players. Ansu Fati on loan is obviously a short-term solution. I rate him as a player, obviously, but, it hasn't quite worked out for him for whatever reason has happened at Barcelona. Maybe too much pressure at such a young age. Maybe that has happened, of course, guys. But we have to wait and see. Of course, we have to wait and see. Asif, good afternoon. Good morning, Asif. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Big up. I'm confident we will get there. But then there's Ineos who shows that they are not here for the club. So the Conterral United. What do you make about this, Irfan? Look, you know what? There's news about Ineos wanting to strip down the club and then eventually sell the club for much more money down the line. We're obviously there's going to be a lot of rumors going around Man United right now about Ineos, about what they're doing and what their plans are, stripping down the club, of course, getting government money to pay for things and stuff like that. Ultimately putting Man United in a lot of debt, to be honest. But you know what? Man United are a cultural institution, and Man United are a massive football club that, resonates throughout the UK. And, without Man United, there would be no Premier League, in my opinion. So I do believe that the government should invest in Man United. Man City got a free stadium after the Olympics, didn't they? At the end of the day. So, I would say that in regards to Ineos, they weren't what we needed. We needed a full sale, Glazers out, debt cleared, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, there was a certain few, I wouldn't say, sinister people who didn't want Qatar for whatever reason. It wasn't footballing reasons, certainly, and it wasn't for human rights either. Because at the end of the day, if these people firmly believed in human rights, they'll be standing up right now, wouldn't they, about the things that are going on in the world right now, wouldn't they? But they're not standing up, are they? You know, at the end of the day, because it wasn't about that, guys. It wasn't about that. It was about something completely different, because they don't relate to them, because they don't look like them, because they don't wear the same clothes as them, they don't speak the same language as them, and that is exactly what it was at the end of the day. I would beg to speak hypothetically in regards to Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos. If it was Qatar doing exactly the same thing as Ineos were doing right now, how the media would react. It's very interesting to see that. It's very interesting to think about that, isn't it? Because that it wouldn't be the same. That an onslaught would be on them right now. An absolute onslaught would be on Qatar right now if it was them in Jim Ratcliffe's shoes doing exactly the same thing. You know what I mean? There would be such and such rumors, of course, guys. There'd be rumors about this, rumors about that, rumors. And you can only imagine, of course, absolutely. Today, Mo must get his selection right and not say afterwards he regret making that mistake. Yeah, look, Irfan, one thing I would say about Ruben Amorim, and I would give him advice. You know what? I'm nobody to give Ruben Amorim advice, but you know what? I think a lot of us will agree. Don't go in the media and say I made a mistake. I would say that because the media will feed on that. Own it. Own it. Say, look, the players didn't play well. I picked the formation that was good enough for me. I felt could win the game, and we didn't win the game. And I was disappointed with the performance. When you say you made a mistake, it's a bit like when he said, like, I made a mistake in saying, this is the worst team of ever at Man United. It was absolute facts. In regard to the league position, points tally, this is the worst Man United team in Premier League history. I'm talking about ever. I'm not talking about because we got relegated in 74, but this is the worst team in Premier League history for Man United. 13th, 14th place. That's bad. When you consider it and you weigh it up and the valuation of this team, etc., it is. And I don't think that Ruben Amorim should come out and say, I'm sorry. But I agree, Irfan. I think today he needs to pick the right team. And you know what? In hindsight, it's a beautiful thing, of course. We're all geniuses in hindsight. If we win games, it's all right. Even though we feel like he picked the wrong team, he won the game, he's a genius, at the end of the day. But, hindsight is a beautiful thing. I just hope we win the game today. I hope the team turns up today. And you know what? The best team, the problem I'm having is that I still don't believe we know our best team, and this is the problem going forward. We still don't know our best team 100%, and I do believe we need reinforcements in the team. I think we need reinforcements in the squad. We're overplaying players. Some of those players look knackered. I'll be honest with you, our squad is thin. We'll have to wait and see what happens today. Fulham's going to be a very difficult game. Fulham have got a great team. They've done well. I think they're 7 points ahead of us at the moment. So, they are a decent side, and we're going to have to be ready for this game. Absolutely, But I do hope he gets it right, of course. Absolutely. Marco did an excellent video on Ineos, Glazer, and PSR. We have spent over 900 million just on interest plus 160. The debt is crippling the club. We needed the Qatar. Absolutely, Amax. Spot on. Absolutely. Irfan, Goldbridge is a friend of mine, a very good person. And you know what? I wouldn't say he's toxic at all. There's nothing toxic about him, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, there's nothing toxic about. I mean, he speaks like me. He speaks like everyone else. It's just that he's got a big platform. I would say that he's not everyone's cup of tea. I'm not saying that, but you know what? I like him. You know what? I'm going to work with him one day. Obviously, we speak. I spoke to him yesterday. At the end of the day, he's a good platform and he talks a lot of sense. There are far more toxic people in the Man United fan base. Rance, Saeed, these type of people who are far more toxic. Bald Fraud Brigade, Peanut Head Brigade and stuff like that. I don't really see him as a toxic guy. I really don't. Absolutely not. John O'Connor, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Did you see Bruno? Great interview after the game midweek about having balls to play for United. Absolutely, John O'Connor. And he's right. He's absolutely right. You do. You need the cojones to play for Manchester United. At the end of the day, if you're nervous, if you're scared to play for this club, this club isn't the right club for you. You can't be scared at this club. You can't be scared at this club. You have to, characters in this club. There's big characters in this club. You know what I mean? And, it was the anniversary of coincidentally, it was the anniversary of the Cantona Kung Fu kick. You remember the Cantona Kung Fu kick? And to be honest with you, I liked that what Cantona did. I loved it. You'd be lying if you said you didn't like that kick, because at the end of the day, that signified who Man United were. You don't mess with us. That was it. And you know what? This is how we should play. This is who we are. You know what I mean? And we shouldn't be nervous to play for this football club. You should. If you're scared, and many players have been in the past and they didn't work out. They're big players that come to this football club and it hasn't worked out for them. If you're scared, then I'm afraid this isn't the right football club for you. And I'll just say that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's about time they stood up, of course, guys. Big up, John. There will be rival fans unhappy that the government is endorsing funding. Absolutely, there will be a fan. Spot on. But you know what? If Man United left the league right now, if Man United left the Premier League right now, the Premier League would fold. Trust me. The Premier League would collapse. If they can deny it until the cows come home. If Man United left the Premier League right now, the Premier League would collapse. If Man City left the Premier League right now, we wouldn't really miss them. That's the difference. You know what I mean? We at the end of the day. And that is it. Man United are the biggest team in England. So the government should invest in them, to be honest with you. They gave Man City a free stadium. After the Olympic Games, they gave them a free stadium. And what have they given Man United? Everything that Man United have done for the Premier League over the years, everything they've done for the Premier League, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? Is incredible. You know what I mean? And it deserves praise. We don't get enough praise. Man United are the pioneers of European football in England. You know what I mean? And we don't get enough praise for that. We open the door for teams like Liverpool and Arsenal and stuff to play in Europe, the stepping stone and stuff like that. That's what we are. You know what I mean? And yeah, we do need more praise, of course. So I'm devastated after hearing United want fans to raise funds to buy players and sell our future prospects players. I wonder how they will build a new stadium if they can't afford a left back. The reason is as if they are basically using government funding to build the stadium. That's what they're doing. Basically, they see Man United as a cultural heritage sort of thing, a listed team, of course, in England. So they believe that Man United can get government funding. And what that means is that basically Man United Stadium will be state-owned. Well, we wouldn't mind that, isn't it? We've been hearing a lot about state-owned, isn't it, at the end of the day? But they will be because the stadium will belong to the government, and it won't be our stadium anymore. It will be the government stadium, and and that is where we get into the realms of, we lose our identity somewhat, and we wouldn't have needed this if we had the Qatar takeover. We wouldn't have needed government funding and things like that. Do you know what I mean? And we wouldn't have needed any of that. But it is what it is, And what we have is what we have at the end of the day. And I just hope it works out as if that, And because at the end of the day, if Ineos succeed, we succeed as a Man United, And that is what we care about. But at the moment, they're not filling us with any confidence, any enthusiasm, because what they're doing, everything is negative. Even the staunch Ineos supporters are starting to believe everything is negative at the moment. Everything is not, is not looking good, and that's a shame. Earthan, beautiful thing is United is still an exclusive institution which is adored and great players in the past and present, and it is what Man United does. United will never die, Earthan. Man United will always be there because we always accumulate our own money. We always, we always have a huge fan base passed down from generation to generation. It's not going to be like it was, of course, when everyone was supporting Man United, and stuff, obviously, one thing I like about what we're going through at the moment, and there's nothing to like about right now, but one thing I see as a bit of a positive is that, all those people, fair weather fans around the world who only supported Man United because of their success will drift away. And the real supporters, the firm supporters, will stay firm and they'll carry on supporting the football club. That's what's great about it. Can't call us glory hunters anymore. I remember I was called a glory hunter for half my life. Do you know what I mean? Even though I started supporting them before we became successful, because I'm from London at the end of the day. So, it's disgraceful, isn't it? It's disgraceful at the end of the day. Absolutely. Big up, of course. Sal, was Mount Eric Ten Hag signing? We all knew Mount is an injury-prone player, and we bought him. Imagery injury record is not good either. Players injured. I think it was a collective, Asif. I think it was a Woodward. Now, was it a Murto and a Eric Ten Hag signing? Because Mason Mount played on loan at Vitesse Arnhem, I believe it is, for under Eric Ten Hag. He liked the player. Wrong signing, poor signing. That's why you need people like Barada, Wilcox, and Vivel. This is exactly why Eric Ten Hag needed that. Eric Ten Hag didn't, unfortunately, have the luxury of having a Wilcox and Vivel and Barada around to make sure. He was the sole decider, wasn't he? And this is wrong. I mean, one manager shouldn't be the sole decider. But look, let me tell you something about signings, right? Alex Ferguson made poor signings. Every manager makes poor signings. The fact it gets highlighted is what you do on the pitch, of course. We've made very bad signings over the years, at Man United, and even under Alex Ferguson, we can name 10 to 20 players that were bought. But it gets highlighted, of course, because at the end of the day, we are getting poor results on the pitch. Mason Mount, I've never been his biggest fan. I've never been his biggest fan, to be honest with you. I think he's extremely overrated as a player, and a lot of favoritism in regards to him, but it is what it is. Evan, I won't be surprised if Ineos and the Glazers are in cahoots to sell the club after adding value, like the OT project somehow. Yeah, Irfan, you know what? Well, it is as well. They're going to build apartments around the complex, and they're going to build hotels around the complex. Ineos theme parks, whatever they're going to do. Do you know what I mean? Whatever they're going to do, they're going to make a lot of money from this. They're in line to make a lot of money from this. They can build a whole community that is built by Ineos. You know what I mean? And that is what they're looking at. Their eyes are wide open. They can see the prospect, what they can do. Imagine having a stadium and a community and apartments and hotels and shops. Don't be surprised if they do cycling, racing tracks and stuff like that as well around the facility and things like that. They stand to make a lot of money. And obviously, Jim Ratcliffe, he's not an idiot. He knows how much money he can make. He's not an idiot. And the problem, the only concerning thing for me is that he's also not a Man United fan, but he's going to make billions, of course. Billions. Asif, I'm so happy, mate. I've got to come. Yo, Sal, what's up? Big up, Bilal. What's going on, brother? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you on the stream, my friend. Big up, Asif. Big up, Bilal. Big up, everyone, of course. Big up, everyone at the end of the day. Told him to stop feeding the press, signaling out players and overreacting. He calmed down for a while, but I guess it sells for him. No, he hasn't really targeted anyone. He's a very honest guy. He's not the guy. Just because, you know what, people need to look at the other guys, Rance and Said. He's a very, very honest guy. Who's the guy he slanders? He's the only one who backed Luke Shaw. He's the only one who backed Rashford. And just because he calls out certain things, he's the one who he's the only outlet who backed Eric Ten Hag to the end. You know what I mean? I don't see this narrative. I think that, it's a very, very ignorant point of view in regards to he's the toxic one. When you got people over there that, call certain players peanut head and, bald fraud and stuff like that. Look at Rance and don't look at this. Look at Rance and look at Said, what they're doing. You know what I mean? What they do, what they say every single week. That's what I do. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, look, you know what? At the end of the day, they're the most toxic ones. I don't turn against people. And I don't like a lot of the fan channels. You know what I mean? I don't. But at the end of the day, I know him and he's not that guy. People just target him because, he's the biggest in the world. And, they want to target him. There's a lot of jealousy around him. And you know what? I don't agree with that, to be honest with you. I really don't agree with that. I don't. I'm firmly against that sort of thing. You know what I mean? He's the only one who's trying to unite. He's not toxic. Watch him. You should watch him. He's not. I've been watching him since 2017, something like that. And we've been following each other for a long time, And it's absolutely a myth, to be honest with you. Ahmad, why are United trying to go critical of Ineos and the Glazers? It's like the media and fans are ignoring the problems. Where it's good. At the end of the day, Ahmad, United stand have been saying that they're going to get something done. They're going to unite the fan base and they're going to try and get something done. Do you know what I mean? And you know what? I would say that fair play. Fair play to Mark Goldbridge and United stand. Fair play to them, because at the end of the day, I think he's the only one who really cares. Because at the end of the day, what's Said doing? What's Rance doing? What's Terry doing? What are they doing? At the end of the day, what are they doing? And I've been on Terry's channel 3 times, and what are they doing? They're not doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, at least one person is trying to make a difference. You got one person concentrating on Biani, the other one concentrating on the problems at Man United. That's the difference, isn't it? You know what I mean? And that is where we go wrong at the end of the day. Crazy, Absolutely. So, guys, look, at the end of the day, look, you know what? People will say what people want to say. At the end of the day, you know what? I call things as I call the spade a spade. I call things as they are. I say things as they are. And you know what? I don't care if, Saeed's been on my channel. I don't care who's been on my channel. I will call it as it is. And I will always do that. There's far more worse problems going at Man United. Of course. Talking about raising funds for fans, I have the tech cryptocurrency platform which specializes in tokening assets, which would be affordable for anyone to invest. Digital money sale. Big up, my friend. Big up, money is real. Big up, fan. Good luck, brother. Just checking a small tree with a flower over it. Why chose his name for me? Not sure. No problem, fan. Whatever you need, man. Let me know. Let me know if you want anything to say. I mean, me to pick up you or anything. Matt Dawson said we are also looking at fullback Get Avaro. We are looking at him, but you know what? I'm tired of this looking at things. You know what I mean? In regards to that, guys, in regards to Man United have inquired about Achraf Hakimi. Achraf Hakimi is a right back that plays for PSG. Of course, guys, a very, very good player. Probably one of the best right backs in the world, right wing back in the world. Of course, guys. And he could play right midfield. He could play left back as well. He could play right back. And he's a player that Man United are looking at. His highest market value is 70 million euros. His current market value is around 60 million euros. So he is an important player. Affordable, of course. Affordable player as well. Absolutely. He only has 1 year left on his contract. 2026. His contract expires June 2026. So that is interesting. So the price is only 60 million euros at the moment, which it obviously is very, very affordable for Man United. And he is a very, very good player. And I would love Hakimi at Man United because he will add that bit of experience and that bit of skill. Rumor is that he's a big friend of Mazraoui, and him and Mazraoui would unite in the team. The Moroccan internationals, of course, would be great to see them both into the team. And that obviously is a incentive. But this is another rumor going around that Hakimi is a fullback option for Man United in the summer. To throw that one out there in for you guys to digest. Of course, guys, we're going to have to wait and see what happens in the summer. Lots of talk right now, of course, around Manchester United, and of course, things what are going to happen in the summer, of course. Let's wait and see. I'm not a fool to Glazonomics, of course. I'm not a fool to them. What's going on, Edu? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. 15 years plus of bad business is not going to disappear in a season. Absolutely. The club is paying price for dealings and price has to be paid brunt of it. Yeah. But the problem is that we had an opportunity of a full sale, Edu. Full debt cleared. Glazers out. And yeah. And unfortunately, Jim Ratcliffe has facilitated the Glazers. The problem is that Jim Ratcliffe is not that guy. He is not a guy that has a reputation of building things like football clubs. AS Nice will tell you that. They're not the biggest, they're not the most popular people in Nice at the moment, let me tell you. And they're not the most popular people in Manchester United as well. If you supported Manchester United and you're Manc born and bred, like Jim Ratcliffe supposedly is, whatever that means, I want to put the Manchester back in Manchester United. I would want to put the United back in Manchester United. That's what I want to do, not put the Manchester, because Man United is a worldwide club supported by millions of people around the world, probably one of the most top supported clubs in the world. So, you know what? At the end of the day, he manipulated people to buy this football club on a percentage, sacking people on 16 grand a year who have mortgages and kids and stuff like that. Some of them I know, and it's disappointing. And to be honest with you, if he really cared about the football club, he would have stepped aside and let the full sale happen. That's what he would have done, because that would have been best for Manchester United. And that is what it is. At the end of the day, our debt is not our problem. Jim Ratcliffe bought the club on a vanity project. It's his problem. Sort it out. Otherwise, leave and sell the football club, because at the end of the day, we're not interested. He could have had a full sale with the Glazers out. Do you know what I mean? That's what I would say at the end of the day. Ineos don't want to swap Nkunku, then we spend ridiculous money on injury-prone guy. I mean, look, you know what? We're not going to get Nkunku. I tell you what Ineos do, GK. They do it. They think we're not aware of it, but this is what they do. Ineos do this, right? What they will do is they'll plant a seed in the media, right? They'll plant a seed in the media and they'll see the fans' reaction. And if the fans' reaction is negative, they'll step away. If the fans' reaction is positive, they'll go for it. They don't have their own mind. This is what they do. You know, for example, even with players transfer listed, transfers, players coming in, players going out, they will plant a seed, you know, because in reality, what they want is that they want to make money, you know, and they know that if they got Nkunku on loan, that, you know, they'll get, you know, at the end of the day, it's not going to happen, guys. We're not going to do a swap deal. Absolutely not. That would be an absolute ridiculous, stupid decision. That would be absolutely. It would be one of the worst decisions ever. I mean, you've got a player. I mean, we had Paul Merson talking yesterday about he would run to swap. He would take Garnacho to swap for Chelsea. He would take him there himself. These people don't watch football. I tell you, I'm telling you, these people do not watch football. I'm telling you that. I mean, at the end of the day, Nkunku, I forgot about Nkunku because at the end, he hasn't played any football. He's 27 years old. You know what I mean? Yeah. At the end of the day, you know what? Lots of bad rumors going around at the end of the day, guys. Lots of silly rumors going on at the end of the day. Van, good luck, mate. Yeah, good luck, Fan. I will chat to you about it. I need to get a license to go for. No problem, Fan. Whatever you want, man. No worries, man. I think we should try getting a knee striker or number 10, a nice striker, a knee striker or a nice striker. A nice striker. We wouldn't mind a nice striker, but we want a prolific striker. That sounds better, don't we? At the end of the day, that would be nice, of course, as well. Of course, guys, absolutely. Asif Sal, what Amorim should do today is to come out on top. What I would say is that he needs to not play the midfield that he played against Glasgow Rangers. He needs to keep it solid. I feel like sometimes we can't be too naive. I think he'll win the game. I trust him to win the game. I do trust him to win the game. And whatever team he picks, Asif, I'm going to be supporting the side. And I believe we'll win the game. We're good enough to win the game. Fulham are a good team. And the problem with Fulham is that they're settled. You know, they have their team. They're settled, of course, guys. And they have their team, of course. But you know what? We'll have to wait and see what happens today. And to be honest with you, I would play buy-in there myself. I would play buy-in there. I would play him today. My defense, it would be Euro, Licha, and De Ligt. That's what my defense would be. Maguire is too much of a liability in regards to mistakes. I mean, you know what I mean? And I would do that. That Licha, De Ligt, and Euro for me. That's what I would do as the back three, of course, guys. Absolutely. Ineos can tokenize their assets and fans can invest in United by virtual buying a token and all the debts can be wiped out. Just imagine that. That would be incredible. Imagine the team was owned by the people again. That would be lovely. Actually, if the players that we have and balance are unfit for position and less to choose from, it's true, Asif. It is true. We're shoehorning players into certain positions. We're trying to square pegs in round holes, especially on the wing back positions. You know, and we need natural balance on both sides. And when you have natural balance in your team, it affects the whole team, including the attack. When you got players bombing forward on their natural foot, left foot, right foot, bombing forward, or players who specialize in left back, players who specialize in right back, you know. When they're bombing forward, you know what? It creates more opportunity for the attackers because there's no substitute for overlapping runs, creating chances, crosses into the box and stuff like that. When we do it, you can see how effective we are. You know what I mean? And if we bring in a good couple of wing backs, we will be on it. We will be good. Trust me. We are not as far as people think. Football is very marginal. You know, at the end of the day, you could... If you just take one player out of a team and then it can disrupt the whole balance of a side. And that is what football's like. It's not so black and white. It's not so, exclusive to one position and this and that. It is, if he can get a balance, strike a balance in that team, I think we'll be all right. At the moment, it's difficult because these are not his players. These are not players built for his system at the end of the day. And I foresee a big change coming in the summer. Definitely. Absolutely. Big up, fan. Big up, my friend. Big up, big up. Ineos worse than the Glazers. I can't imagine them taking this anywhere. They are money-minded. They are. Ineos are Glazers 2.0. Big up, Aparosi. How you doing, Dennis Aparosi? Good to see you on the stream, my friend. Good to have you here. What I would say is that, they facilitated the Glazers, and they are the puppet to the Glazers. So in theory, they are worse than the Glazers. And in theory, we are worse off now with them. And that's what I would say, because at the end of the day, look, we could have had a full sale, and now we're not going to get a full sale because the Glazers have opened their eyes thinking, how much money can we make at Man United? We build a new stadium. We're going to build a community around the stadium and hotels and apartments and stuff like that. Imagine how much money we can make from this, at the end of the day, Unbelievable, isn't it? Big up. Asif, I'm getting some kind of irritation when they're called Jim Ratz. Jim Ratz, sir. I do hate this traitor unless he is proved. I don't call him sir. I don't call him sir. Why should I call Jim Ratcliffe sir? What? Why? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he doesn't deserve that title. Well, at the end of the day, look, you know what? Certain people get the tag sir. Certain people do get the tag sir because you know what? They align themselves with certain people, and that is exactly what it is. Sir Alex Ferguson is a sir. That's a sir. What he did for Man United and stuff like that. I don't trust Jim Ratcliffe. I think he does things a horrible way, a nasty way, a malicious way, in my opinion. I really don't. I really don't trust him, to be honest with you. Manchester United 2 for the nil. Oh, lovely, fan. I would take that all day long. I would love that. I would love Man United to win 2-0 today. A comfy win. Wouldn't it be nice to have a comfortable win for a change, wouldn't it? At Man United today, wouldn't it, guys? It'd be absolutely brilliant, of course. Stanley Matthews, what a name. Play with an identity and attitude of Man United. Absolutely. Understand who we are. I mean, Bruno Fernandes talks a lot about who we are. Show us who we are. Everyone, including himself. Show us who we are. We're Manchester United. You know what I mean? We're Manchester United at the end of the day. And you know what? He needs to show that, and those players need to show that today. We're playing Fulham. You know what I mean? That's what we need to understand. Fulham, who were in the Division 2 a few years ago. I mean, I was raised in Leighton in East London, and they were always in Division 2, Division 3. And you know what? That's what I would remember about Fulham. But you know what? It is what it is. You know what? Man United need to go out there and act like Man United today. Absolutely. Absolutely. And win. And that is the most important thing. Of course, win the game. Exactly. Big up Asif, big up fan and everyone, of course, guys. Big up everyone. Big up, of course. So that's one thing I would say. About Manchester United going forward. And I would say is that winning today is the most important thing. Forget all the politics, everything that is around Man United at the moment. What it boils down to the most is Manchester United winning the game today. That is what it really boils down to the most, is winning the game. And a big win it would be today, because Fulham are 7 points ahead of us. And you know what I mean? And that is obviously, of course, a massive win. Who are we? Now we are Amos Wingless Wonders. Good point, Stanley. Absolutely. Exactly. Man United. People forget who this football club is, at the end of the day. People forget who we are, and I do believe that Jim Ratcliffe and co have forgotten who we are. I really do. Mac, I read that Angel Gomez is looking to join Spurs on a free. It would be a bad if the player chooses Spurs over United. He isn't the best, but he would be a good squad player for free. I agree, Mac. I agree. It would be. It would be a great addition to Man United. He wants to come to Man United. He's already openly said he wouldn't mind coming back to Man United. He said that in the media. But if Man United don't move for him, other teams are going to move for him. Other teams are going to, try and sign him. If he doesn't move to Man United, he's going to go to wherever he wants to go to, isn't it? He's a good player. Not the best, obviously, as you said, Armac. But you know what? As a free transfer, is that would you do that deal? I mean. Would you do Angel Gomez deal? You know what I mean? Yeah. He's a free transfer. England international now, isn't it? At the end of the day. Has always been the man for the job. Absolutely, Amir. Big up, Amir. Asif, we need to support Amram in his all decisions. Imagine being in Amram's shoes. Imagine. I could only get up for my grave and shout loud for Amram support. The poor guy is left at the comfort zone to save us. Absolutely, mate. He should be applauded, eroded, whatever. You know what? And the problem is those true toxic fan channels out there, you know who they are. as the Rances and the sides, and that they're ready to pounce. They're ready to pounce like they'll pounce on a cheeseburger. That's what they're ready to do. And, at the end of the day, they will do that. At the flip of a sixpence, they would do that. If the chance comes, they would do that. And you know what? I'm going to be backing him all the way, as I always do, guys. I'll be backing him all the way. And that is what it is with me, of course, guys. Absolutely. This is Man United have been traveling down to London, of course, guys, as they do on a train. Man United do travel by train, and they have been traveling.
I'm fine. Do you know Lisa? Lisa Butterworth? In the canteen.
Interesting time. Man United coming down to London, hopefully in first class and nice and comfy. You know what I mean? Absolutely, definitely, of course, guys. Absolutely. Big ups, Earth-fan. Big ups, your usual mornings is a good on the platform, and I laugh a lot. Me too, Earth-fan. I do as well, brother. It's good to have a laugh. You know what? Calm before the storm. Man United have got a game today, and hopefully it's not as stressful today, of course, guys. Absolutely, it's not as stressful. SLD, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. We need to chat code. We need to chat to cheat code player like that, like then with Fellaini. I dislike that guy, but he won like 90% off his headers. And yeah, look, you know what? He was, you know what I mean? But the only problem with Fellaini is he encouraged us to play Route 1, didn't he? He encouraged us to pass the ball over the top. But sometimes, you know what? Route 1 is the best way. You know, sometimes you can overplay. And sometimes you need to, you know what? We did play it sometimes under Alex Ferguson. We used to hoof the ball into the box sometimes. And I remember when we used to be losing games or drawing games when we needed to win, we would throw the ball all the way into the penalty area, and we have 5 or 6 players in the box. You know what I mean? You remember those days? Fulham be like full West Ham. I hope we beat them today, guys. I really do, of course. 181, smash the like, Reds. Thank you so much. I said, big up. Audio's out. My audio's okay. Everyone, is my audio okay, guys? I haven't heard anyone talk about my audio yet, but is my audio okay? Can you hear me clearly, guys? Can you guys let me know if you can hear me clearly, my friends? Let me know. In Amram we trust. Absolutely, Mayor. Absolutely. The players look very disinterested. It worries me. 2-0 prediction with my 2-0. They look tired, fan. I think it's freezing in Manchester, isn't it? So maybe it's cold early in the morning, break of dawning. That's it. Maybe they should turn into breaking dawn. It might give them some early morning vibes. You know what I mean? That's what they need. Maybe they should tune into this channel early in the morning, of course, guys. Saving money ain't a plane cheaper. I mean, if you go on Ryanair or something, maybe. I don't know. I mean, then they're not different from us, just only with a little bit more money. Absolutely. I mean, I've been on the train before from London where the Man United team have been on the train. They go in first class. They actually book out the whole first class. They actually book it out, so you can't go anywhere near them anyway. But yeah, they go right to the end of the platform. Absolutely. What happened to traveling with a club coach? Is it the bus also made absolute? Yeah, it's been like that for a few years now. Man United have been traveling by train for a few years. I mean, over a decade now. I mean, when I saw Man United traveling by train back in 2010, I had my season ticket. I used to see Man United all the time. and a lot of the time. At the start of the transfer window, there were reports that Saudi League was paying 25 million for Casemiro. Why the hell is he still on 350 grand a week? So he doesn't want to leave. Probably. I'm not sure, but he needs to leave Al Mac. He does. He's one of the big problems at Man United, of course, but he's not playing football, which is the big problem, isn't it? That's the problem. Like, he's getting 370 grand a week and he's not playing football. He's not being chosen, but it is up to obviously Ruben. We should play Sam Murray once. Great prospect, Sam Murray, of course. Harry Amas as well. It's a great prospect for Man United. Big fan of Harry Amas, of course. We need to give some of these players chances, but not in this game. But you know what? In the cup games, we should have done that. But now it's a little bit late. Of course, never seen their team traveling from the train before. So does this usually happen, or is it another money saving? So it's been going on for 2 decades, as if almost. It's been going on for a long time. They do travel by train. Yeah. It used to be Virgin trains, and they used to come from London Euston or London St Pancras. They travel by train all the time. It's very comfortable. It's only 2 hours from London to Manchester on the train, so it's not too bad. More comfortable than a plane, because a plane you have to go through obviously customs and stuff like that, and it's a bit of a headache. It's stressful. So Man United travel by train. So yeah, it's not that bad. I've been on the train up to Manchester and back loads of times. Very comfortable. I love it. I love traveling by train. I really do. Absolutely better than plane any day of the week. And coach. So you were talking about muted. We could only hear the video clip on the audio. Oh. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I was talking about Bruno and his latte. Bruno's got a latte there. He's the only one with a latte, of course. Team looked a bit disinterested, as Colin said earlier. Onana walking in the wrong direction. I thought he was going to walk into the wall. And you know what? They're tired. It's early in the morning at the end of the day. It's early in the morning, isn't it? Break of dawning, of course. What all places I've visited everywhere, GK. Everywhere. I'm English, so I've been around. I used to have a season ticket. I used to travel around the country watching Man United. I've been to every ground, Premier League ground. You name it, I've more or less been there. Yeah, I've more or less been there. I actually done a music video for the World Cup in 2014, Alive and Kicking by Reds, REDZZ. And you see, we visited 90% of the grounds around England. And we done that. But when I used to have my season ticket, I used to go and see Man United all the time. And in Europe. Traveled a number of places in Europe, of course, as well. So, yeah, love visiting new grounds. I love visiting this. It is, of course, guys. So, thank you so much, Asif. Big up. Audio is perfectly fine. Thank you, SLD. Big up everyone, of course, who's joined the stream today. Of course, guys, absolutely. My uncle lived in Dublin, works in Centres. Very, very quiet, silent country island. It's a peaceful country. They love a drink, though. They do love a drink, of course. They do, of course. Well, already, is it time for buying there? It is time for buying there. Absolutely. I agree. Stanley, and Nkunku in Ghana out will make me angry. It will make me angry, make me very disappointed as well. Story. Absolutely. Make me annoyed. Guys, that's the show for today. I'm back later on. I won't be back for Chatterbox today. It's the watch along today. So I will be back for the watch along tonight. Of course, guys, I will be live at 6:30 p.m. UK time. The game kicks off 7 p.m. UK time, of course. 10:30 p.m. my time. So, guys, don't forget to join me for the watch along. Pop your head in, say hello. Hopefully, it's a good day for us, guys. Absolutely. And let's hope that we get a good result today. Asim, Sal Casemiro will learn more. RSL, why isn't he leaving? He's followed Jones. Yeah, they're all doing the same thing. And this is the cultural thing that needs to change at Man United, of course. Players overstaying because they're getting too much wages. Why would they leave? You know what I mean? They don't have to, do they? This is the problem that we have, of course, guys. Take it easy, guys. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. Have a great day. And I shall see you later. Up the Reds. Let's go and let's be positive, guys. We're going to win it. Take it easy. Peace.